Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to do a beach pour on a charcuterie board. I got this board at Hobby Lobby and it was so cool. And I wanted to make sure I had all of my colors for my beach pour. So here you can see all of the blues of the ocean that we're going to use. And I used a resin paste for this for all of my coloring. Now for my wave, I used a resin paste and alcohol ink for the waves. I went ahead and I prepared my board with little 3M tape on the back so that I can prepare the back of the board, and decided where I wanted the beach to be. I kind of wanted it to kind of flow from the handle over the edge of the board. So now that I have everything there, let's go ahead and start pouring. So first color, I wanted to put the deepest part of the ocean down. So I have the deepest blue, and spreading it with the popsicle stick, wanted to make sure that I covered all that surface area, and also taking that color all the way off to the side so that I really wanted the resin just to flow over to give it that really finished look. So I used my fingers to kind of move the color around on the board. So the next thing I was going to do is to of course, clean up as I go along, and then put the other color, the next color, in my ocean. But in between, I like to pop the bubbles. As soon as those bubbles come up, I go ahead and pop the bubbles. And so now I'm pouring the second color. This is sort of a teal color, and it gives just kind of moving that color around so that we can make sure that we marry those colors together, just kind of blending them together. Now we're going to pour the third color, which is more of the shallow part of the ocean. And so once again, with my popsicle stick, just kind of blending those colors together. Now we got to get ready for the wave. And so for that, I used clear resin just in front of that light blue color so that we can prepare it for the white. And now we're going to use that white resin right on the edge. Just make sure that we guide the color all the way off the side of the board. Now that we have all that, we're going to take our heat gun and warm up the resin and blow the wave back. And that's so satisfying to watch. Look at that. I wanted to make sure that I had like a really nice foam edge. So I added a little bit more white to the edge just to make sure that I had that really nice edge to it. And then, of course, popping the bubbles with the heat gun. And it also starts the lacing process for the wave. Now I've learned to kind of leave it alone. So after that, I decided I was going to just let it dry, and it's day 2. So now on day 2, we're looking at what the wave looks like now. And it was really pretty. It gave me some really nice cells, and the color really looks good around the edge of the board. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start off with the deepest part of the ocean and just make sure that that color gets all the way around and coat the handles. The thing I noticed with that first pour is that I did have some places where the resin didn't cover. So I wanted to really make sure and got, especially inside the hole, make sure that I got resin to cover everywhere. And then just repeated the process of putting the different color resins on there and blending them together. Don't be afraid to use your fingers to do this. You can use a popsicle stick. You can use your fingers. Just get in there and just kind of get it all blended up. And just like we did before, we're going to go ahead and put our clear resin right in front of the wave so that we can kind of pour the white onto the wave. And so I just was coaxing the colors right to the edge. All right, so now it's time to go ahead and add our white resin. Of course, you know, we got to pop the bubbles in between, but we're in preparation for the white resin to make the wave. And this time I decided to add some extra white to it just to give a little bit more oomph to that wave. Once again, now we're warming up the resin on the edge and blowing that wave out. And this is so satisfying to watch. I wanted to make sure that I had a really good wave crashing. So I went ahead, just like I did with the first one, and just kind of reinforced the edge of that foam with a little bit more resin. I just kind of blew a little bit more of it out. And this is when you do this, you kind of have to, like, once you blow it out, you know, you could do a little tweaking to it, but I've just started doing this. So what I've realized was once you get it to where you want it to be, just leave it alone, because the wave will do what it does, and it just forms this most beautiful waves ever. So I decided once everything was completed, I wanted to do another pour, but this pour I didn't do on camera. So I did a third wave, and you see that third wave as it crashed on top of the first two. And it came out so good. Oh my gosh. I was so happy with the way this turned out. And I went ahead and I inspected all the way around the board. Everything looks so beautiful. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial and that you decide to do this project. We'll see you in the next video.